Hey guys, what's up? I hope everyone is doing well. I switched my positioning up a little bit filming wise. Let me know if it looks okay or if it looks weird. I'm curious to know. I moved some stuff around. Today though, I thought that we would talk about my comfort items. I was doing a look over on my IG the other day and I mentioned that my Tati beauty palette was a comfort palette. It's something that I can reach for and it just like brings me comfort, like not only because I love it, I know that it works for me, but it's one of those things that just like always brings me joy and makes me just feel like, like I feel like if you know, you know, if you don't, then this probably doesn't make any sense. But and a friend had mentioned, oh, that's such a good video idea. And I kind of thought like, why stop at, my favorite comfort palettes? So I wanted to show you all my like comfort items. And a lot of this I'm sure that you've seen before. So just grab yourself a beverage. I have an iced coffee here. Sit back and relax and let's chat some makeup. So I don't really know if I'm gonna do in this a particular order. I guess we'll see as we move through things. I'm just gonna start grabbing. I have my whole little pile laid out for me. So yeah, these are the items that I'm reaching for when I just want something that makes me feel cozy, comfortable, and I know is going to work for me and I won't have any issues with it. I'm not gonna have to finesse and finick or whatever. They're just very easy to work with products. The first one I'm gonna chat about is the So Juicy from ColourPop. This is the shade Roundabout. I love this formulation of their plumpers. I have this one on today with a lip liner. And my lips look juicy as fuck if I do say myself. Luke picked me up a couple of these because I hadn't had them in my collection in forever. And I really love them. I've been using it pretty much nonstop since I got it. But these are super comfortable. There is a slight, I wouldn't even say tingle. I would say like you feel like a minty cooling sensation. But there's no burning or anything like that. There is a minty scent to these. So if you don't enjoy that, you've been warned. Next up, I only have 2 concealers in my collection, so these are my comfort concealers. They're what I literally reach for every day, and I feel really content with them. I don't really feel a need right now to go out and try new ones. I did get approved for one on Octoly though, so I will be getting a new concealer, but I really enjoy these. The KVD Good Apple and then the Dior Backstage. I think that these are great. I've had this makeup on for now a little over 10 hours. And I still think everything looks pretty fucking good. But I like these. This one's a little bit of a drier formula and this one's a little bit on the creamier side, but both of them fall into that nice middle ground to where they're not overly creamy and they're not super drying on my skin tone, or on my skin at least. So I really, really love these. Another item that I have been reaching for lately that just works, looks good, is super long wearing, is the Rose Ink Skin Enhanced Luminous Tinted Serum. I love this stuff. I have the shade 60N and 40N. Right now I can kind of mix them together and I get like the perfect shade. I usually end up doing like 2 pumps of each. But this is just so quick and easy to use. My makeup applies beautifully on top of it. I never have any issues, whether it's cream, whether it's powder. I can pretty much pair anything with it. Plus, I always know I can count on this product to last on my skin for over 12 hours. This is definitely such a favorite, and they're ones that I would 100% repurchase. I do feel like I am going through it like fairly quickly. I'll kind of be able to determine that a little bit better as I move through them. But so far, I do feel like I'm kind of going through them pretty quick. But yeah, I freaking love these. I am obsessed. When I repurchase, I don't think I'll get 40. I think I'll get the 50N, and that will be like a more perfect shade for me. This one was sent to me from Octoly, and then I picked this one up. but I know it's expensive, but it is truly so good. It's like, it's what every skin tint has ever tried to be. I love the dry down. I love the wear. Like, I just cannot say enough good things about this. It is so stinking good. It works really well with an illuminating primer, with a pore filling primer. Like, I've never had an issue. It's so, so good. Speaking of primer, my Milani Bright Side, if you've been here, then you know I love this so much. It gives me a really nice luminosity, and it has like a really slight tint in that coloring there, which doesn't provide like any coverage or anything, but I feel like it just helps really lock in that whole, you know, we're blurring things kind of moment. It just adds like another layer of that. I haven't ever had any issue with this layering with anything. It's something that I can grab, and it has worn beautifully with any kind of base product that I've used it with. So this is one I would highly recommend and that I often find myself reaching for. Another product that's kind of become a comfort lately is this Kosas Duo, which I was like super on the fence about before. I have the Cream Duo in the shade Velvet Melon, and this has become something that I reach for it every day. I love this highlighting shade, and I think I'm getting pretty close to pan on it, actually. Oh, do you see that? That is so freaking stunning. And then the blush as well. And this, the shade is so pretty, but the lasting power on the blush isn't necessarily where I would like it to be. So I find myself layering that blush with other blushes, which I think is something that's helping me move through it a little bit quicker. I just wish that if there was one thing I could change, I just wish that the lasting power on the blush was a little bit longer. Usually around that 7-hour mark, we get some like fading, which I wear my makeup for a long hours at a time. Like, I have it on today, but I layered it with something else that we're going to chat about. So yeah, but I've just been so obsessed with this. I love using it every day. I love the way that it applies. And yeah, I'm truly obsessed with it. I layered that product with another comfort product, and it's the Phytosurgeon's blush in the shade Smolder. Not to sound like a broken record, but I just love this one. The shade is really beautiful. It applies really beautifully. It is super long lasting. This is just such a staple standout product to me in my collection. So much so that it's getting on it. It's on its last leg, you guys. There for a while, I wasn't really using it because I think like subconsciously I was like, oh, it's almost gone. I don't want to use it. So I really wasn't using it. But now I'm trying to incorporate it more because when I finish it, I can get another one. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm back to focusing on this one, but I really just love it. It's such a staple in my collection. It literally, in my opinion, matches every single eye look, whether you're going with something like bold in color like this look, or if you're going with something that is more of like neutral, comfy, or even cool toned or like grungy. This shade literally matches every single look. Like, it's so versatile. Like, it's just chef's kiss. The next item is from Huda. It is the Huda Beauty lipstick. This one is in the shade Hustla. I just grabbed this shade because it's the one in the front. But honestly, any of the cream formulas I really enjoy from her. They're super comfortable. They're super pigmented. I'll show you this shade. Like I mentioned, it's Hustler. It's a really pretty cool toned pink. But I really like these because they're comfortable, and realistically, at some point throughout the workday, you're gonna need to reapply your lippy. And some lippies like reapply really weird. I find that this one reapplies nicely, so it's one that I really do like to keep, you know, and use it throughout the workday. So I definitely recommend this formula. It's a comfort item for me. Next up, we have the Natasha Denona Diva palette. This one is such a good one. I feel like I'm still, like, it's a comfort palette, but I still feel like sometimes I'm getting to know it a little bit. I've played with, I think, pretty much all the shades now. And I just love how easily the mattes blend in here. Like, this palette makes me want to do an all matte look, which is like not me at all. But like with this palette, like it has me wanting to just do an all matte look because of how beautiful the mattes look together and blended out. It's a really effortless palette, and I feel like it's one that's really like satisfying and beautiful to look at. I'm aware that the price point on this is fucking obnoxious and outrageous. I picked mine up secondhand on Mercari, and I've had no issues. I really love it. I don't mind secondhand makeup at all. That's kind of totally like up to you, like a personal call. But I've had a really good experience so far. And I've given this palette a lot of love, whereas, you know, someone else might have just decluttered it. So yeah, I really love this one. It's a good, easy formula to reach for an everyday look, or you can even like glam it up. But it's one that I just reach for again. I'm just like, cozy town, cozy town. The next palette is the Scott Barnes Natural Volume 1. I pretty much do like the same thing every time I reach for this. If you can't tell, there's certain sections that are more beat, but there are shades in here that, like, this is another one I reach for comfort, but it also has some shades that are uncomfortable to me, like these like red tones. Like, they are, I almost just set that down on its face. They are so beautiful, but they're just not tones that I would like wear or I feel like look good on me. So like when I reach for this, those aren't the ones I'm reaching for. I'm reaching more for like the browns or even like the deeper shimmer shades on the bottom. Like this shade, Silver Screen. I've used the crap out of that. You can't even tell, but it is so pretty. And it's one that I know I can reach for something like really glam or just really chill. Also, sorry, that is freaking Hector. We have this little, okay, so story time. Story time. Kate got this little pig for Christmas this year, and it has like these like rattly balls in them or whatever, and I thought that he would really like it, but he really didn't. And I was kind of like, well, what the hell, you know? And we got Hector in, I think it was like the end of January, beginning of February, I don't know. He's like 5 months old now, but he loves it, and he'll like grab it by the tail and he whips it around. And it makes like the most, it's so loud, but he loves it. If I can get a little clip of him doing his thing, I'll insert it, but he's camera shy. He's always like, meh, or he won't look when you're trying to film him. But yeah, so if you're hearing that rattling, that's him whipping the pig back and forth. Yep, literally took my camera off the tripod, started filming him, and he stopped. So love that for me. The next product is from Tom Ford. It's the Shade and Light Duo. He needs to make singles, period. I love this bronzer shade so freaking much, and it's one that I can use and I just know is gonna look great. It blends out beautifully. It looks great on the top. It looks great underpainting. Like, it is so good. I didn't use the top shade on my other one. This is my second one of these. I didn't use the top shade because and I was thinking about giving it a go in this one, but I haven't yet. I kind of forgot until just right now. But it's such a comfort bronzer because sometimes, like in my experience anyways, like bronzers can be like kind of finicky, especially when it comes to like application or tone or whatever. And this is one that I find that I can just always like count on to look good, either when I am like, I don't want to say tan because I'm really not tan, but when I have like a smidge of color and when I'm fair, no matter what, this seems to really just work really well for me. So that's why it is a comfort product. The next product is from Fenty Beauty. It is the Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear Foundation. I saw that they had these on the Mega Drop Shop for BoxyCharm, and I highly recommend, if you can find your shade anywhere, run. It is so good. I literally, since I got it, I wore this like straight for like weeks, and like I still have like half of it, but then I did a little bit of self tanning and it was too light for me. But I think now I look red. I was sitting outside today. But I think I might be able to pull it back off again. But this is just so good. It looks beautiful on my skin every single time. It's another really nice long wearing product. It applies really easily. I'm the kind of person that likes to have a little bit of variety when it comes to my foundation. Like I have a tint, I love a liquid, and then I have a stick foundation that we're going to talk about as well. But I like to have variety, but I like to have comfort and staples and favorites in my variety. So this is going to be one of those. The next one is my Huda Beauty foundation stick, which I actually haven't used in a while. I have the shade Cashew 140G because I feel like it would be a bit like a smidgen light for me right now, which is why I haven't really used it. But, and the fact that I got this and I was like, obsessed. Like I couldn't put it down. And I'm trying to, like, right now is always such a weird time, I feel like, for base products, because it's like I'm actually pale, but I'm self tanning, and that comes and it goes, and then I get sun, and I just feel like my tone is like everywhere. So I have like pretty much all my foundations out for just like depending on what is happening that day. But if I get back down, then I will be using this one, because I just realized, I was like, man, I haven't used that in a while. The next comfort item is the Patrick Ta Major Dimensions palette. This is the original one. And honestly, I used the brown in this the other day, but I haven't used it in a few weeks and I really miss it. This is one that I can reach for and know that I can just create something so fucking beautiful, like so easily. The mattes do all the blending for themselves. They're so insanely like pigmented. I don't get any creasing. It's long wearing. The toppers are just crazy beautiful. I really love it, and it's one that, you know, I can reach for, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be the glamorous gal, and I didn't even try. So yeah, I definitely my boyfriend thinks he's not distracting. I just don't understand. But yeah, this is definitely such a good one, and I need to pull this out as well. Like I love it. Now, the palette that started this whole thought process and train of like comfort items was the Tati Beauty palette, because I so if you're newer here, last year this was my Pan That palette, and I think I want to say it took me just a little over half the year, but I was able to hit pan in every single shade. After that, I took like a pretty solid break from this palette because I wanted to focus on some other things. But honestly, during that time, I missed it because it had become a comfort palette, because I got to know it so well. I mean, obviously using it like as consistently as I was for months, like I really just got to know this palette. So for me, I can reach for it and have absolutely, you know, I'm like ready to go. Like I can do whatever with it. I feel comfortable working with all the different formulations and the textures because I'm so familiar with it. But it did get a little bit of a break because, you know, I was working on some other things, and then I was feeling kind of burnt out at the beginning of the year. But now I'm kind of feeling back on my bullshit. So my next project planning update is going to be litty. So just think about that. But yeah, so I pulled this out and I've used it pretty much solely the last like 2 weeks. I just have not been able to put it down because it brings me like that comfort, that nostalgia there's just something about Tati in general. Like, she's a person I will watch when I like need to go to bed because she's just like comforting. And I don't know if that's weird if you guys have those people, but like they just relax my soul. She relaxes my soul. And I feel like this palette brings like the same kind of energy to me, if you will. Like today I used this black glitter on there today. And yeah, this inspired this whole video because it's just something that I love. And honestly, I do, I'm gonna share my next project pan video. I have chosen some focus shades, and I think one of them will potentially be gone by the time I film that video. But I really just want to focus on some more shades. I want to expand some pans, and I want to potentially finish some pans as well. But this is one that I, you know, can count on. She's a staple. She's a workhorse. She is the workhorse of my collection. That is what she is. But yeah, I don't know if you guys enjoyed this, but I kind of thought it was something fun, different, chill, that kind of situation. If you're new here, hi, hello, my name is Megan. I hope that you stick around and subscribe. If you haven't yet, ring the bell, you guys, so that you're notified of my uploads. I typically post every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Sometimes the schedule is a little finicky, or there's a bonus upload, so you want to make sure that you're getting notified. And then also, before you leave, if you liked this video at any point, hit that thumbs up button. It really does help a small channel like me. And thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.